Todd, Baxter, employees of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. District Attorney Sandra, Doorley, employees of the Monroe County District Attorney's Office. Alex Renzi, New York State Supreme Court, Policy Merchant, James Money Jr., Town Court. My name is Chris Rochester. I live in Rochester, New York. I have been an innocent man, jail 6 times. At Monroe County Jail, Rochester, New York, Livingston County Jail, Genesee, New York, 6 times prosecuting top court. I'm convicted on paper by lies. Psychopaths at the district attorney's office are convicting me with lies. That's why these psychopath prosecutors are always silent in court. For Paul C. Messer in Town Court, John P. Renzi Jr. in Town Court, and Alex Renzi in New York State Supreme Court. And who the fuck is it? Perry Uncles, Mark Monahan, Elizabeth Buckley, Michelle Crowley of the District Attorney's Office, and Julie Sianka and Mark Phillips of the Public Defender's Office. Those 6 names you all know. You should have a record on a paper file or electronic file of me in court with the prosecutor signed to my court appearances. Who is it? This is the Freedom of Information Law, dated this Friday, February 9th, that you received on Wednesday, February 7th. So, first time I appear in court for John P. Lomenzo Jr. Well, he doesn't know anything. He does not know. Criminal Temp Second is me walking outside here, telling a man on his tractor from Brock Hollow Tree and Lawn Care, Steve Desmond, that nobody owns the land, walk back rights. He doesn't know that's Criminal Temp Second. He doesn't know that I'm charged with harassment second, sitting in the back seat of Andrew Reale's Monroe County Sheriff's Office vehicle after I'm violently attacked by Jermaine L. Benman at a defunct gym called Pedo Fitness. John P. Lomenzo Jr. doesn't know any of the facts or circumstances. These 2 insane concoctions for me. And you know what, Perry Douglas, Mark Monahan, Elizabeth Buckley, Michelle Crowley? Neither does the psychopath prosecutor. And I do not have defense counsel to stay. I don't even know the public defender's office exists in Monroe County. So, quote, documentation case of Christopher charges Town Court for John P. Lomenzo Jr. What is the name of the prosecutor? District Attorney Sandra Doorley. This is the payroll for the district attorney's office. The freaking sociopath is right here. What's the name of the freaking sociopath? So then I have to go into Penfield Town Court for this $28,000 bald-headed widow who also doesn't know nothing. I'm going to be relentless, Paul C. Messer, about your removal from that little star chamber. It's going to be relentless. There's going to be at least a 2-week period where every day you're going to be signing for documentation from it, including to the Office of Court Administration in Albany and the House Judiciary Committee in Washington, D.C. It's going to be relentless. And what this bald-headed widow is going to do is call the sheriff's office and say I shouldn't be contacting her when I'm exercising my First Amendment right, because she's already done that. So who has my conviction? Who's the freaking sociopath before Paul C. Messer? This is the boy in his 3-piece suit. I know what he looks like. I've seen his photograph online. You know his name. I don't. Tell me his name. So, quote, documentation for the case of Christopher charges in Penfield Court for Paul C. Messer. What is his name? You know. Perry Douglas, Mark Monahan, Elizabeth Buckley, Michelle Crowley, Judy Sianka, and Mark Phillips. You could easily email it to me. So, $73,000 Michael Houlihan and $85,000 Don Benedetto walked onto the private property of my 80-year-old neighbor and hid. Can the cops do that? Those names I just mentioned at the district attorney's office and public defender's office. Can the cops hide on private property? Houlihan comes running at me with Benedetto. This is at midnight. I turn around, run away. This is on the body camera, too, of Michael Houlihan. I grab my hammer next to my bike as I'm about to run through the sliding glass door. Houlihan grabs my arm. The hammer goes up like this and run through the sliding glass door and I've stopped running. Michael C. Houlihan, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, now knows he has to come up with a lie. He has to concoct a lie about why he's at my residence 26 cents from driving Penfield. And he goes back to your Jonestown District Attorney's Office and your Jonestown Sheriff's Office, and he says I swung a hammer at him. It's a lie. It's a fiction. He's a corrupt psychopath cop who had to be investigated by Attorney General Letitia James. I talked about that previously. I'm still researching all the facts and circumstances of Michael Houlihan lying under oath in your grand jury, Michelle Crowley, when he says I swung a hammer at him. So I'm tracked over to Wegmans after I'm in my residence. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office drove over to my residence, waited for me, tracked me, followed me, stalked me over to Wegmans. 5 vehicles are there for me, 10 employees. A sheriff's office employee gets out of the vehicle, runs at me, knocks me down. My head slams down the concrete pavement. I'm brought to Paul C. Metzler. She declares me guilty of something. I'm driven out of Monroe County to Livingston County in Geneseo, where I languish in this Livingston County jail, where I'm asking the public defender's office and people at the jail how long I'm going to be there. This is what I'm told. The judge is holding you. I'm violently attacked and assaulted, brought to Paul C. Metzler, declared guilty, driven out of Monroe County, and this $28,000 bald-headed widow psychopath is holding me in jail. I'm confident this is not constitutional. So then I'm brought to Alex Renzi. There are facts and circumstances and things that happen that you're making decisions about me that I don't know. But what I just said begins the process where I'm eventually going to be in front of the exalted one. When I'm laying motionless on the concrete, after I'm violently attacked by a Monroe County Sheriff's Office employee at Wegmans at 2157 Penfield Road, I have yet to be before the exalted one. Because when I'm in Livingston County Jail, then I'm taken to him. And then I'm going to subsequently appear before him repeatedly. So, I do not yet know how many times I've had to appear before the exalted one. But when I appear before the exalted one, $210,000 Alex Renzi, I have a prosecutor. And who is it? Freedom of Information Law. Quote, the documentation of the case for Christopher Todd in the New York State Supreme Court for Alex Renzi. What is the name of the prosecutor? District Attorney Sandra. The freaking sociopath is right here. Who is it? It's the payroll for the District Attorney's office. So, on this Friday, February 9th, I also have, quote, the defective documents for the case of Dan DeLoss III before John P. Lomenzo Jr. in Penfield Town Court. This gets Lindsey Barron, the Monroe County Office of Mental Health, to my residence. This vile, nauseating, disgusting room of Penfield Town Court where there isn't a jury of 12, there isn't a witness box for witness testimony, there isn't even a table for a public defender, defense counsel, and prosecutor to sit at. This foil here, Daniel DeLoss III, you know who he is because he was prosecuted by the District Attorney's Office, is witnessed by neighbors on Armitel Luster off a 5-mile line in Penfield Road, trying to solicit children and trying to do other things. He's an accused child rapist, accused child predator. I'm saying he's accused because I don't know the facts and circumstances. But he's released by Lomenzo because Lomenzo says the documents having to do with his case is defective, so I want to examine them. I'm exercising my First Amendment right. And this disgusting, sickening star chamber of Penfield Town Court with Paul C. Metzler, John P. Lomenzo, and James Fielding Jr. has repeatedly called these mental health bureaucrats to interfere with my First Amendment right to acquire information and also to embarrass and humiliate me because they're repulsive, because they're freaks. Paula C. Metzler's a freak. Paula C. Metzler's repulsive. And so is John P. Lomenzo Jr. and James Fielding Jr. So send me this documentation. You repulsive, nauseating freak, Paul C. Metzler, and James Fielding Jr. in Penfield Town Court. It's the foil. It's attached in PDF. Quote, the quote, defective documents, end quote, for the case of Dan DeLoss III before John P. Lomenzo Jr. in Penfield Town Court. So those 4 Freedom of Information Law documents I just read on this Friday, February 9th, also read on February 7th. I'm going to send the same YouTube where I read that. So I have to go back to Christopher Price, the Monroe branch of the Rochester Public Library, and write down everything I don't have. Because this old man psychopath, 80-year-old Anthony Ospano, who have not arrested, locked me out of my residence. What's not to understand, freaks and sociopaths, about the law in the state of New York? This is a legal aid society. It's illegal for your landlord to change the lock, shut off utilities, physically remove your belongings without a court order for eviction. There's no court order for eviction for where I lived for 8 years, 26 Sandra from Drive, Penfield. So the 2 crimes here are, there's no court order. So my landlord changed the locks. It's a crime. It's so obvious this is a crime because my key doesn't work when I get back from Livingston County Jail. My key doesn't work. He changed the locks without a court order, Antonio Spano. My ex-girlfriend, Laura Riley, who I've known for 30 years, physically removed my belongings from the residence to a storage locker in Webster, where we used to live before we moved to Penfield. There's 2 crimes here, and she's refusing every single time to tell me what happened. I have been in contact with her more than 100 times. Voicemail, email, registered mail return receipt, UPS, Federal Express, 100 times. They're using these different methods to contact Laura Riley in Webster, New York, to tell me what happened, and every single time she's refused. All those the criminal complaints I'm about to read just arrived at the Department of Justice is Lisa O. Monaco, who is the Deputy Attorney General under Merrick Garland. And what I have said to the Deputy Attorney General is that I'm charged with criminal contempt for telling a man on his tractor right here that from Bronco Tree Lawn Care, nobody owns that land next to my residence, walk back my rents. I'd like to know I sent her this photograph too. I'd like to know if she looks at this. I'm going to show the other photograph on this building at 2025 Penfield Road for a business called Consumer Insights, Welly Roth's president. I'd like to know if the Deputy Attorney General here, Lisa Monaco, this is what it says suspected, so she had to open this, I hope, is thinking, what are they doing to this citizen? Like when I tell her, if she's watching me on YouTube because I see the links, point to this parking lot. She has a link, Lisa Monaco, Department of Justice. Well, I'm holding up the same photograph. I'm pointing to the same spot. And I'm saying what I'm again saying now. I walk out here and say nobody owns that land next to my residence, walk by my residence. And Sheriff Todd Baxter, his freak cop, then $67,000 Shannon Meyer, think that's a crime. When that's not a crime. And also what I sent Lisa Monaco, the Department of Justice, this exact photograph here on this building here. Again, why are you calling these mental health bureaucrats when you don't know anything in the Sheriff's Office about what's happening? This is 2025 Penfield Road for this business called Consumer Insights. Ellie Roth's the president of that business. This camera also called the surveillance devices on it. Can you see it? As I hold it up here clearly, pointing to it with the official finger of Brooklyn, New York. Regina Harper sent me the links. The Public Defender's Office sent me multiple links. I watched myself on it. Sheriff Todd Baxter. Is this private technology at 2025 Penfield Road for this business Consumer Insights, Welly Roth's the president? Or would you expend taxpayer dollars and buy it from me? He'll lie, because he'll lie about anything. January 16, 2023, over a year ago. Todd Baxter, Sheriff, 130 South Plymouth Avenue, Rochester, 14604. This photograph is why I'm a fanatic. This photograph is why I'm an extremist. This photograph is why I lie. This photograph is why they know the name. You're $67,000 disgusting at Shannon Meyer. This photograph is why people hate the police. Can I sign my name? This photograph, employees of the Sheriff's Office, Michael Rather, Kathy Miller, William Tadeo, Scott O'Berty. Employees of the District Attorney's Office, Perry Douglas, Mark Monahan, Elizabeth Buck, Michelle Crowley. Employees of the Public Defender's Office, Public Defender Julie Sianka, Assistant Public Defender Mark Villa. It's why people hate the police. So, why people hate the police is Nayraj Shah, who lives in that building. Nayraj Shah is my late Kumar Shah. The psychopath cop should come to home of an innocent man, meaning me, and confiscate my dog. I'm walking back from Gold's Gym to Fairport. This is false reporting an incident. Nayraj Shah is up here. He starts to scream at me. I have known guys in Brooklyn and Queens where my mother and father are from, and Long Island where I'm from, and in the 101st Airborne Division where I was for 3 years, that would have attacked him and had him on the ground. And I'm looking at him scream at me, this psychopath. And I walk right by him. And then I get this call from this then $67,000 freak Shannon Meyer where I'm talking to her. And I'm saying for this 60-minute agonizing phone call, people walk through this parking lot all day long, including Penfield High School students in their red athletic apparel. Why are you calling me? I have a 14th Amendment right to walk through this parking lot. A reason why he can order you around, this Nayraj Shah, this freak, this psychopath, and his mother, is Shannon Meyer is in fear that he's going to attack her and the employees of the Sheriff's Office being a racist. That's why. I'm absolutely confident that this freak Nayraj Shah has been falsely accusing people of racism his whole miserable, sick, disgusting life. You understand it's not a crime? One, walk through that parking lot, two, would tell a man on his tractor. Nobody owns a land next to my residence. I'm not harassing anyone, sitting in the back seat of $79,000 Andrew Reality's police vehicle. I run away from Don Benedetto and Michael Houlihan. It's impossible to swing a hammer directed to the grand jury Michelle Crowley when I run away. And this happened in 30 seconds at midnight. Directed the grand jury, what I would have said in the grand jury, I would have used this exact same language. I would have said, if I wanted to swing a hammer at Michael Houlihan of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, I would have cracked it over his head and he would have been unconscious next to my back porch because I'm coordinated. That's why. It's impossible for me to swing a hammer and I ran away. I've never been violent in my life. Attempted felony assault, the exalted one, Alex Renzi, tells me attempted felony assault doesn't exist. Because you, Perry Douglas, can attempt to assault Elizabeth Buckley in the district attorney's office. And how is attempt defined? So, now that I'm here 14 minutes, you freaks and sociopaths understand what I'm talking about the law in the state of New York. I'm going to repeat this again for you freaks and sociopaths, because this old man, I hold 5,000 degrees in hell is where this old man is. Along with my ex-girlfriend. Is it illegal for your landlord to change your lock, shut off utilities, physically remove your belongings without a court order for eviction? Criminal complaints now. that Todd Baxter received on July 22nd, 2023 and July 27th, 2023 about Richard J. Sieben, Nayraj Shah, Lena Kumar Shah, Antonio Spano, Law Riley, and Michael Luan, where he ignores the law. The law is a joke to this bald-headed Benito Mussolini stooge and fascist, Sheriff Todd Baxter of Monroe County. He will concoct crimes for me, where it's impossible for the prosecutor to exercise a First Amendment right in court and describe it in detail a crime I've committed. And then he will ignore real crimes. These are real crimes. July 22nd, 2023. Todd Baxter, Sheriff, 130 South Plymouth Avenue, Rochester, 14604. Sandra, Doorley, District Attorney, 47 South 50, Rochester, 14604. Attached to 4 criminal complaints with this language. The Richard J. Sieben, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, walked into Penfield Public Library in Penfield, New York, ran at Christopher Chichester, slammed his arm at the head of Chichester, causing him to fall backwards, hit his head on the ceramic tile floor. 2. The Nayraj Shah and Layla Kumar Shah, the 2033 Penfield, New York, 14526, falsely reporting an incident of Christopher Chichester, formerly 26 Sanders, from driving walk through a parking lot next to his residence. 3. Antonio Spano failed, pulling out, locked the front and back doors of his residence, 26 Sanders, from driving Penfield, New York, without a court order. Law Riley, Webster, transported the personal belongings of Christopher Chichester, 26 Sanders, from driving Penfield, New York, to storage locker, Webster, New York, without a court order. These are crimes. Each individual will not be arrested or prosecuted. There is 1 day in jail served for these crimes destroyed my life, which when capable of identifying crime, you concoct crimes for innocent citizens who hate the human condition. Then I have two YouTube links, YouTube rejection for 113.98, 142 cent Perry Douglas, and 112.508, 75 cent Mark Monahan. YouTube unconstitutional. Sheriff Todd Baxter, District Attorney Sandra, Judge Alex Renzi. I say resign. Say it's unconstitutional. I'm confident it's unconstitutional for Paul C. Metzler to convene Penfield Town Court when 1, the district attorney's office is not present that I committed a crime, and 2, I meet my public defender 5 minutes before she's going to summarily declare me guilty. So when I say, and I'm not just writing this down, hoping to arrest these freaks and psychopaths, but I'm signing my name. Here's Richard J. Sieben. Richard J. Sieben walked into the Penfield Public Library, ran at me, slammed his arm into my head. It's the force of his arm hitting my head. That's violence. I fell backwards. My head hit the ceramic tile floor. That's violence. It's Richard J. Sieben here. He should be in Attica State Prison where he's fucked in the ass by a convicted murderer. That's where Richard J. Sieben should be. So, right here, what I just read there, my signature right here saying that Richard J. Sieben, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, $5,904 employee, attacked me at the Penfield Public Library. It's violent felony assault. Todd Baxter loves violent felony assault. So this is Nayraj and Layla Kumar Shah. It's not a crime to walk through that parking lot. As I've said, this is false reporting incident. There are 2 of my neighbors right there. I'll try to hold this in a certain way. 2 of my neighbors right there. They're not going to the sheriff's about my neighbors or Penfield High Schools. Am I New York's 4,000-time criminal? Because that's how many times I've walked through that parking lot. Nayraj Shah and Layla Kumar Shah, 2033 Penfield Road, Penfield, New York, false reporting an incident of Christopher Chichester, formerly 26 Sanders, from driving in his walking through a parking lot. Falsely reporting an incident employees the district attorney's office, sheriff's office, public defender. He's just going to blow off the law. Antonio Spano. Corruption requires repetition. It's illegal for your landlord to change the lock, shut up utilities, physically remove your belongings without a court order for eviction. He changed the locks. It's a crime. 80-year-old Antonio Spano Fairport committed that crime. Antonio Spano Fairport locked the front and back doors of the residence 7 years, 26 Sanders, from driving Penfield, New York, without a court order. It's my signature that he committed this crime that you will ignore at the district attorney's office, sheriff's office. So here, Law Riley, the criminal complaint. The law in the state of New York from the Legal Aid Society is illegal for your landlord to change your lock, shut up utilities, physically remove your belongings without a court order for eviction. Law Riley physically removed my belongings without a court order. Why has she been arrested? Because you freaks, a sociopath, can't identify a criminal act. Doesn't matter to you if these 2 are committing crimes. I own nothing, I have nothing, because 2 people. 2 people decided I wasn't going to live at 26 Sanders from driving Penfield, New York anymore. Law Riley Webster Air transported the personal belongings of Christopher Chichester for 26 Sanders from driving Penfield, New York to a storage locker Webster, New York without a court order. It's basic and simple as it gets. The law in the state of New York. That's my signature right here saying she committed this crime. My dress greens from 17 Cavalry, 101st Airborne Division are gone. My 1,000+ books are gone. My bed's gone. My couch is gone. My television's gone. Wash and dry I had in the basement that Antonio Spano doesn't own is gone. He's using a washer and dryer I own to rent the residence to the new tenants because he's a criminal. Just like this criminal right here, Michael Houlihan of the sheriff's office. I would have said this to the grand jury, Michelle Crowley. I'm confident I have a strong case you could be disbarred. You're not even be fired by this party-switching diva Sandra Doorley, who uses her help because she wants to be a pathetic victim. So, criminal claim for perjury. This is what I was said to the grand jury, Michelle Crowley. This is what I said to you if you was calling me to the district attorney's office to interview me. Facts and circumstances, public defender Julie Sianka and assistant public defender Mark Phillips don't matter to this revolting, disgusting director of the grand jury, Michelle Crowley. If she was truly interested in the truth, she would call me to the district attorney's office for an interview. I'd come down there, 47 South Fitzhugh. She could interview me. She could call me on the phone. She could contact me via email. She doesn't do any of this. I do not know that this grand jury is convened because it is free cop 73312 Michael Houlihan. This is why he's a free cop. Criminal complaint for perjury, 73312 Michael C. Houlihan, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. At 73312 Michael C. Houlihan, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, walked on to the private property crossing the residence 26 Sandra from Drive, New York, Christopher Chichester, that Houlihan ran at Chichester at approximately 1 a.m. with $85,000 Benedetto, the Sheriff's Office. That Chichester ran away from Houlihan and Benedetto unaware of the identities. That Chichester grabbed a hammer alongside the residence next to his bike used to fix the bike's tire. That as Chichester placed his foot on the first 3 steps of the back porch, Houlihan grabbed his arm and hammered Chichester's hands forced up. Chichester ran across the back porch to the sliding glass door, and as Chichester never stopped running, his pops swung the hammer at 73312 Michael Houlihan. As I never stopped running, you revolting, nauseating, disgusting hack, Michelle Crowley, it's impossible to swing the hammer at 73312 Michael Houlihan. There it is right here, criminal claim for perjury. He's a perjurer, Michael Houlihan. And Todd Baxter is in the embrace of this perjurer who's responsible for the death of a human being, of which Attorney General Letitia James had to investigate. And then Todd Baxter doesn't take his weapon from this 73312 freak Michael Houlihan, and then he walks onto the private property of my 80-year-old neighbor with $85,000 Don Benedetto, and he concocts this out of thin air from me. Can the cops walk onto private property? I've said this over and over. Can they lie in wait on private property? You know, Perry Douglas, Mark Monahan, Liz Buckley, and Michelle Crowley. You know Mark Phillips and Julie Sianka. I'll say this again. Can the cops in the United States of America, can police officers in the United States of America or the state of New York walk onto private property? So, you have it. Arrest these people. You know, Todd Baxter is going to do nothing. This bald-headed Jonestown Kool-Aid drinker is incapable of identifying a criminal act when he has spent the last 30 years of his miserable, sick, disgusting, pathetic life as a cop. So, when I go to Christopher Price, the Monroe Branch of Rochester Public Library on Monroe Avenue, I have this document here, Supreme Court, State of New York, County, Monroe. And I'm going to have to list everything I no longer have because of Antonio Spada. What Todd Baxter is doing is refusing to open his mail. Right here. Refuse. This is before I acquired the payroll. This is a significant period of time ago. And because of him, I no longer have my DD-214. I had this original document in my 1980 Mercury Capri when I left 17th Cavalry 101st Airborne Division on April 14, 1988 with 60-plus days leave. I don't have my original DD-214 because of Antonio Spada and Laura Riley. 2 people decided I was not going to have this document anymore. I had for 30 years. So, what I also don't have, because of 2 people, Antonio Spada and Laura Riley, are clothes. I have to go to Goodwill to buy clothes. Right here. It's extra large. So, right there, I have to buy that clothes to Goodwill because of Antonio Spada and Laura Riley. I have to buy clothes to Goodwill because of Antonio Spada and Laura Riley. I have to buy clothes to Goodwill because of Antonio Spada and Laura Riley. I have to buy clothes to Goodwill because of Antonio Spada and Laura Riley. I have to buy clothes to Goodwill because of Antonio Spada and Laura Riley committing crimes. And I have to buy clothes to Goodwill because of you revolting, sickening, degenerate Sheriff Todd Baxter, and because you revolting, sickening, degenerate District Attorney Sandra Doorley, and all the employees of those respective offices I've been talking about. This is St. Christopher Medal. My mother first bought me a St. Christopher Medal when I was 7 years old when I made my first Holy Communion. I had more than 10 St. Christopher medals, including other ones my mother bought me. They're all gone. Because of Antonio Spada and Laura Riley. I had them in a small box. I occasionally open it up and think about my mother. And she would tell me, St. Christopher will always protect you. Which I believed for 30 years. Which I reject now. for the reasons I'm describing here on this YouTube now. It's at 25 minutes because my mother's telling me since I was 7 years old, St. Christopher always protect you. And then I'm going to meet Neeraj and Leila Kumar Shah, this 50-year-old freak who lives with his 70-year-old mother because of this parking lot. Every single thing that's happened to me is because this 50-year-old freak Neeraj Shah and his 70-year-old mother. Paul C. Metzer, this revolting, nauseating, disgusting hack, I hope you burn in hell, you bald-headed widow, is writing these orders of protection to humiliate me. The order of protection has no legal justification for my behavior of why these two people need an order of protection. She's using it upon me to humiliate me. And when I went to the YMCA in Penfield, it's one of the last times I met Penfield, I would do my usual routine. I'd ride the bike or ride the treadmill, run on the treadmill, and then I'd use the rowing machine. And one day I'm on the rowing machine in this very large room at the YMCA in Penfield, and I'm looking at the speed bag, which I taught myself how to use because I've been a boxing fan since elementary school. Now on the rowing machine, I'm looking at the speed bag and standing right next to the speed bag, about 50 yards away from me in this large room, is Leila Kumar Shah. I'm thinking, I cannot believe this freak is here, and I want her to leave me alone. And as I'm on the rowing machine, she starts to walk toward me. I'm rowing on the machine. Here she comes walking toward me, and my exact language repeating myself, leave me alone, walk out that door. She stands in front of me, this freak Leila Kumar Shah, who lived right next to me where I lived in Penfield. I look up at her on the rowing machine like this. And as I'm looking up at her, I'm thinking, why don't she just leave me alone? Because she's a psychopath and freak, that's why. And you psychopaths and freaks at the district attorney's office, sheriff's office, she's still watching this 26 minutes, don't understand why she's a psychopath freak and what she's going to do and why I use that language. So I said, what's my name? You know my name. This frightens and startles her. She goes over to a YMCA employee in this large room, points at me, and says he doesn't belong to YMCA. It's because you, Paul C. Metzer. This is why this is happening, you $28,000 bald-headed widow. And then the YMCA employee says to her, I don't know what you're talking about. The fanaticism on this old woman is disgusting and sick. So she leaves. The next day I go back into the YMCA. I check in with my card, and the employee behind the desk says to me, Michael wants to talk to you. Michael is Michael Avery. So what I'm going to experience in this 24-hour period is the sickness of life, the fanaticism of life, the hatred of life in Leila Kumar Shah. And then I'm going to experience the decency and honesty and rectitude of life with Michael Avery at the YMCA in Penfield, New York. So I wait there, and Michael comes out, and he says, let's go upstairs because this is the second floor. And I went up with Michael Avery. So I was waiting for him to tell me I'm no longer welcome to the YMCA because this happened at other gyms because he used Sheriff Todd Baxter and District Attorney Sandra Doorley. And Michael Avery says to me, I heard what happened, tell me what happened. And I was relieved because then I knew I wasn't getting kicked out of the YMCA. I knew I could go back there. And for an hour, I spoke to Michael Avery. Now pay attention, freaks and sociopaths, the Sheriff's Office, the Attorney's Office. My exact words to Michael Avery is I'm describing this parking lot, which I don't have this picture. But my exact words to him are, you can walk through that parking lot next to where I live in Penfield, New York, Michael, and you won't be arrested, but I will. Does the 14th Amendment matter? Perry Douglas, Mark Byhan, Liz Buckley, Michelle Crowley, Judy Sianca, Mark Phelps, or is that just a post-Civil War amendment where I don't have equal protection of laws? Do you understand, you six freaks, that I have equal protection of laws? That I can walk through this parking lot just like a Penfield High School student can? You know who doesn't understand this? These sick freak above all others, Shannon Meyer at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. I despise this freak with such intensity, this Shannon Meyer, that I believe I could give myself a heart attack. A warrant for my arrest for parking lot walk through 4,000 times. Lunatic fringe. So, employees of the district attorney's office, I have prosecutors that have delivered me to jail 6 times, total silence. And who is it? It's right here. This is who it is. This is the district attorney's office payroll. Who's delivered me to jail 6 times? Who is it? comply with the Freedom of Information Law. I will continue to send you this document right here. I'm going to update this in 48 hours. I just filled out the form on February 7, 2024. I filled out the form on February 9, 2024. I'll be back here on Sunday on February 11, 2024, using either Outlook, which I'm using now, or Gmail now, telling you to tell me the names of my prosecutors. And you will refuse at the district attorney's office to disclose the names of prosecutors that delivered me to jail 6 times in total silence because you're repulsive. My name is Christopher Chichester. I live in Rochester, New York. I've been an innocent man my whole life.